Good morning. Myself, Vipin Kumar Gupta, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Suresh Gyan Vihar University. Today, I will present microprocessor, microprocessor 8085 in the sequence of video lectures. Last time, we will discuss about the evolution process of microprocessor. As we are knowing that first transistor was invented in the year 1947, 23rd December 1947. After that, first IC or we can say integrated circuits were developed in 1958. For the most development of these electronics devices, the microprocessor was invented. So 1971, 4-bit microprocessor was invented. After that, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit. So we can discuss these things. After all, we can discuss many more transistor, Pentium, I3, I5. After that, we can discuss about the instruction set, architecture of 8085. How we will develop the 8085 microprocessor. And after that, we will classify the instruction sets of 8085 based on their length, based on their operation. Based on their lengths, there are three types of instruction sets. That is the 1 byte instruction, 2 byte instruction, and 3 byte instruction. And based on the operation, there are data transfer, arithmetic, logical, branching, control operation. So we will discuss about the data transfer and arithmetic, and we will continue today lecture logical operation. Then we will discuss about the branching operation, then control operation, and then reference, which book is sufficient for uh, describing these instruction sets. We will see, and then quiz. It is having the number of MCQ related to our lecture. So let's continue logical operation. First instruction is the CMA. As the name suggests, CMA means complement accumulator. It means that instruction operation will perform only on its accumulator data. What operation it will perform? It perform the complement whatever data having accumulator, that will be complement. So as we are discussing see in digital electronics complement we are doing. So here we are having the hexadecimal number. So we are when we are converting our number into the binary number, then we are doing the binary number. So that is the, suppose I will take one example, one program I will write. Suppose that move immediate a comma 9 ah, then CMA, then halt. That is a small program. So in the first instruction, when the first instruction was executed, 9A will be transferred to the accumulator. Whatever data accumulator having, that will be overlaid, and 9A will be placed into the accumulator. After that, CMA will be executed. That is the complement of accumulator. So that is the our topic. So CMA means first of all, whatever data accumulator having, that data will be converted into the binary number. That is the first method. So 9 equivalent is the 1001 and A equivalent is the 1010. Now we will convert, this is the binary number, so we are doing the complement of ones complement. How we will do? Simply 1 is converted to 0 and 0 is converted to 1. So we get the 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Now we are convert that number 5. Execution of that program, we are getting the result in accumulator. Accumulator data will be changes 9A to 65H. That is the first method. Next method, simply we can subtract accumulator data, taking the accumulator data 15's complement because it is a hexadecimal number. So 15 means F minus A, how much you got? 15 minus 10, that is the 5. 15 minus 9, that is the 6. So directly we can get the 65H. FF. When we are doing the 16th complement, just we are adding 1. We get the 16th. So that is the method to finding the complement. So we are getting the 15th and F complement, 15th complement. Simply subtract the number into FF and we get the result. So in these type of instruction, flags are not affected because as you know, auxiliary carry, why it changes? Because we are not doing any arithmetic operation. Carry, no carry will be generated, only 1 to 0, 0 to 1. So carry is not affected. So no flags are affected. Next one is compare L. Compare L. Suppose that I am writing a program to finding the maximum number in a given array. We are having a memory, that memory having a 4 to or 5 or many more numbers, and we want to find out the maximum highest number. So what we are doing? So first of all, we will take first number into the accumulator and then we are compare that number into the second one. If second number is greater than the first number, then second number transfer to accumulator. And again, accumulator data will be compared to third number data. Like that we can go, and so that we can get the highest number in accumulator. That is the method. Or when we get smallest number, then smallest number will be transferred to accumulator. So compare L play an important role in that type of example. So here a example is given, that is A is having the 45H and L register is having the 75H. Now compare L will be performed. In that instruction, only 0 flag and carry flag will be affected and other flags are not affected. So what we are doing? In that case, when we compare L is performed or executing, that it will be subtract. When we are subtracting these number, 5 minus 45, we are converting to the accumulator data will be subtract to the given register data. So what is the accumulator data? Accumulator data is the 45. So 45 will be converted into the binary number. So what we are getting? 0, 1, 0, 0. It's the 4 equivalent. and the 5 equivalent is the 0101. Same, we are converting the 75 into the binary number. So 7 equivalent is the 0111 and 5 equivalent is the 0101. Now we are subtracting these two numbers. What you got? 1 minus 1, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. 1 minus 1, again 0. 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 1. So it's not possible. So what we are doing? We are subtracting, taking one borrow here. So 10 minus 1. What you got? 1. Now it's 10. So 0 minus 10, it's not possible. So what we are doing? We are taking one more borrow here. So 10 minus 10, 0. Minus 11, it's not possible. So we are taking one more borrow here. So 12. So 12 minus 1, 1. So one borrow, again 0 minus 1, it's not possible. So again I am taking one borrow here. So when we are taking one borrow, so 10 minus 1, it's 10 minus 1, we are getting the 1. So carry is 1. So it is the binary subtraction. When we are doing the hexadecimal subtraction, 5 minus 5, 0. 4 minus 7, it's not possible. So we are taking one borrow. So 15, uh, 16 is will be added. So what we are getting? P accumulator are as same as previous. So only on comparison will be done. So we can say after the if carry flag is 0, we can say accumulator, we can say accumulator is lesser the reference value, like that. Next, and what is the length of this instruction? Can we calculate it? The length of this instruction? The length of this instruction is the CMPL. So it's only on opcode is there. So it's the 1 byte instruction. And addressing mode, here register to register is available. Directly register is given within the instruction. So it's the register addressing mode. Next, CPI 45H. Here data is given within the instruction. So first of all, I will calculate the length of this instruction. How I will calculate? When I convert this instruction into the hex code or mnemonics, then CPI having some 8-bit data and 45 is also having the 8-bit data. So 1 byte plus 1 byte. So it's the 2 byte instruction. And data is directly given, so it's the immediate addressing mode. So how the instruction is performed? Again, first operand is always available in accumulator, and second data is given within the instruction. So we are performing our operation accumulator data and the given data. So I will write one program like that: move immediate a comma 62h, CPI 45h, halt. So in that flag also, zero flag and carry flag also changes. Compare having the three instruction we are using: CMPL or R. R is any register. CMPM, that is the memory. CPI data, 8 bit. So only zero flag and carry flags are affected. So how we will change it? 62 is converted to the binary number, and 45 is also converted to the binary. We are doing the subtraction. What we are getting? Just see, 0 minus 1. It's not possible. So we are taking one borrow in the next bit. That is the D1 bit. We are taking one borrow. So 10 minus 1 the 1. So 1 minus 1, it's 0. Again 0 minus 1. So again we are taking the borrow in D3 bit. So 10 minus 1, it's 1. Again D4 bit is the 0 minus 1. So again taking the borrow D4 bit. So 10 minus 1, so 1. 1 minus 1, 0. So we can say accumulator data is greater than the given data. As we see, 62 is greater than 45H. So accumulator data does not change. Only flag value, only on carry flag value or zero flag value will be changed. So what is the zero flag value? In that example, zero flag value is 0. Why? If zero flag value will be changes only that condition when both the numbers, accumulator data and the given data, are equal. Then only then zero flag value will be 1. So it's 0. Carry flag is also 0 because it is not taking any borrow to next number. So it is 0. So like that we can solve these type of example. Now we are coming for RLC. What is the meaning of RLC? First thing, R denote for rotate, L denote for left, C denote for carry. So what is the meaning of this instruction? Rotate accumulator left without carry. That means whatever data is given in the accumulator, that data will be shifted one bit left without carry. Carry data will be changed, but carry is not shifted to next bit. Like see, suppose that this example is given. Carry flag is 1 and this is the accumulator data. So what is the left? Left is this side. So D naught is shifted to D1. D1 is shifted to D2. D2 is shifted to D3 and D3 is shifted to D4. D4 is shifted to D5 and D5 is shifted to D6 and D6 is shifted to D7 and D7 D not flag. Wait, that is the important. Like that. This 0 is shifted to carry flag and this 0 is also shifted to D not flag. Now all value will be shifted to 1 by 1. So carry flag will be changes from 0 to 1. So carry flag value will be changes. So any doubt in this question we can perform. Next is RRC. What is the meaning of RRC? R means rotate, R means right, C means carry. Rotate accumulator right without carry. Let us suppose. Let us take this example. Here example is given. Carry flag is 1. Now here we are shifting right side. So D7 bit is shifted to D6. D6 is shifted to D5. D5 is shifted to D4 like that. And D0 bit is shifted to carry flag and D7 bit. That is the important thing. D0 bit flag is shifted to carry flag and D7 bit like that. This value is shifted to D7 is shifted to D6. D6 is shifted to D5. D5 is shifted to D4. D4 is shifted to D3. D4 to D1 and D0. Now this one is shifted to carry flag and D7 bits like that. Like that. So this is the clear thing. Carry flag value again we can change. If this value is, suppose that this value is 0, then carry flag value will be changes. So here only on accumulator data, operation will be performed only on accumulator data. So it's the implied addressing mode. And second more things is the, what is the length of this instruction? Length is 1 byte because it is not having any data or address. So its length is the 1 byte. RAL. Next, very important. RAL. What is the meaning of this thing? R means rotate, A means accumulator, L means left. So in the previous RNC we can see rotate accumulator left without carry. So C here in that instruction C will be denote without carry. So here C is not there. So it means rotate accumulator left with carry. Here carry also shifted to left side. Let us suppose this example. Here one example is given. A value is having some value and C carry flag is also having the 0 flag. So left side, it means D0 is shifted to D1, D1 is shifted to D2, D2 is shifted to D3, like that. It is shifted. D8 bit, D7 bit will be shifted to carry flag. That is the difference between previous one and this one. In the previous one, what we are saying, D7 bit shifted to D0 bit and carry flag. It is not shifted to, so carry D7 is shifted to carry flag. So it's 1. So carry flag will be 1. So now this 0 is shifted to D0 flag. And remaining all are shifted to 1 by 1 bit. Like that you can get. So carry flag value will be changes from 0 to 1. That is the difference. RAR. R means in the previous rotate, that is the example, rotate accumulator right with carry. So here, suppose that we are taking one example. Here carry flag is 0 and accumulator having some value. So D7 is shifted to D6. D6 is shifted to D5. D5 is shifted to D4 like that. And carry flag is shifted to D7. And this D0 is shifted to D carry flag. So first carry flag will be shifted to D7. So 0 will be shifted to D1, and this D1 not value will be shifted to carry flag, and then all value will be shifted to right. So here also carry flag will be changes. So only carry flag will be changed in these type of instruction. Branching instruction. Suppose that I am writing a program and I am putting different loop. Suppose that I am say if carry is generated, that means if carry is generated, then it perform that task. I am saying that if carry is generated, it will perform that particular task. If carry is not generated, then it perform different tasks. Like if number of ones in our result is even number, then it perform a specific task, and when odd number, then it perform that specific task. So how we will differentiate? How we will do like that? So for that purpose, we can use the branching instruction. Branching instruction are the jump unconditionally and jump conditionally. Jump. What is the general meaning of jump? We jump. Suppose that I am moving and suddenly I will jump. That means I skip something. That is the jump. So same here. Unconditionally. Unconditionally means it does not check any condition. It directly jump. It skip the steps. Some steps it will skip. That is the jump unconditionally. It will skip some conditions. That is the meaning of jump unconditionally. And jump conditionally, it will check the condition. If it is satisfied, then it goes that particular location which is given within location will be given. That location it will jump. Suppose that I am writing a program and I am having in memory of 1800. Now I want to jump 1804. When it will jump only on that condition will be fulfilled. It will skip 3 memory space. That is the meaning of jump conditional. So we will see in this type of instruction, call unconditionally. Call unconditionally and call conditionally. What is the meaning? Suppose that I am calling any of the person for performing a specific task. If he give that result, I will use that result and perform my task. That is the call. I call a person who perform that task. I will use her data and performing my task. So same procedure it will happening in microprocessor. In that process, when some program are written in memory, these program are called by our master program. It will take its data. So it is two type unconditionally. Every time it call that program, it perform execute that program, take the data and perform its own task. Call unconditionally. Conditionally, it means if condition will be satisfied, then it goes that particular location, call that program and execute that program and again come to its main program and then perform its task. Return unconditionally and then return its again main comes to its original program. Return conditionally. If condition will be satisfied, then come again its main program. RST, restart, PCHL. These are some example of branching operations. So we will discuss one by one. Jump 8500H. So this is the jump instruction. So every time it will jump. So how it will jump? What is the meaning of that jump? Actually, what it one by one instruction it will execute. When I am writing a program into the microprocessor, some memory it will take. That memory space we can load that program or store that program. When we are executing that program, so the current position will be hold the program counter. Which instruction is to be executed, that will be hold to the program counter. Suppose that that program counter hold the value 8000H. It means 8000 memory location instruction to be executed. So after the executing of this instruction, program counter value will be changes to 8500H. That is the difference. So it will skip 80000 to 808500. That memory space it will skip. That is the meaning of this condition unconditional jump. So we can say it can jump. Program will jump that location to that location. How we will use this instruction? Suppose that I am writing my program. In between the program, I'm not having so much space to complete that our full program. Uh, in between, some program is already written into the microprocessor. Then we cannot erase all the previous program. So what we are doing, we can write that instruction. Only 3 byte instruction we can write, so that after the completion of that execution of that program, it will goes to continue our its on program. So that is the main use of that instruction. Call 8500H. This is also unconditional. So unconditional call. So again, program counter and stack pointer. There are the two 16-bit registers are there. Program counter suppose that having the 8000H, and stack pointer, stack is already nil. Every stack having the 8-bit data. So 1002 it will store 80, and 1001 it will store 00H, because first of all lower data will be stored and then upper data will be stored. So stack, what is the stack pointer? Last in first out. Whatever data is lastly come, it will execute first. So what the program counter value? Program counter value will be changes to 8500H, and stack pointer value will be 1001. So it will execute that program, call that program. It means it goes to that location and execute that program. It is written that memory location. After executing that program, again it come and stack pointer value it will execute that program. Read. Suppose that program counter having the 8000 and stack pointer having the 1000H. So how the read will be performed? In the read, program counter value will be changes to stack pointer. Stack pointer what value? 1001. It's the 00 and now. So its value will be changes 8000 to 9000, and stack pointer now stack pointer will comes to 1003. So its value will be changes to 1003. Now return conditionally. This is the return unconditionally. RC means return if carry. If carry is generated, then it will return. RNC, return if no carry. Carry flag is 0. RP, return if positive. RM, return if minus. So sign flag will be affected in these two instructions. RZ, return if 0. RNZ, return if no 0. RPE, return if priority even, and RPO is equal to return if priority odd. Next one is the RST, that is the restart. How many software interrupts are there? What is the meaning of interrupt? First, we are thinking about the interrupt. What is the meaning of interrupt? Suppose that I am doing some task and someone coming and say, you go there. So that person interrupt me. I will leave my work and go that place. So that is the meaning. So what is the meaning of interrupt? Interrupt means to break the continuous progress. So hardware interrupt and software interrupt. We are having the two types of interrupt. Hardware interrupts are the trap, INTR, RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5. These are the hardware interrupts. And software interrupts are the RST 0, RST 1, RST 2, RST 3, RST 4, RST 5, RST 6, and RST 7. These are the software interrupts. So these are the also the branching instruction. So the RST instruction jumps the control to one of 8 memory location depending on the number. So these are the software interrupts. So these are used as software instruction in a program to transfer program execution to one of 8 location. So these are the location of each and every software interrupts. RST 0. So how we will calculate the address of each and every software interrupts? Suppose that I want to calculate the RST 0 interrupt location. So how we will calculate? 0 is multiplied by 8. We are getting the 0. Now I will convert that into the hexadecimal. So we get the 00H. Now again RST1, suppose we are converting the hex, we are finding the restart address, and 1 is multiplied by 8 and we are converting to the hexadecimal number. So 8's equivalent is the 8 equivalent is the 0008 to 16 we are getting. So 16 when we are converting, so what we location we are getting? 0010. Like that we can calculate each and every restart address. So that address we can get. So control instruction. After the branching of instruction, we are coming through the control instruction. The control instruction control the operation of microprocessor. First one is the NOP. As the name suggests, NOP means no operation. After that instruction, it means when NOP is there, no operation. It means nothing is to be done. The instruction is fetched and decoded, but no operation is executed because its meaning also the no operation. Halt. Everybody write after the program halt. What is the meaning of that halt? The CPU finish executing the current instruction and halt any further execution. It means our current instruction halt. The interrupt or reset is necessary to execute from the halt state. DI, disable interrupt. It means suppose that one interrupt is coming between the program. We don't need. we want to perform our task first. So we can disable only on lower priority, not the highest priority. Like trap is coming, then we cannot disable. So the interrupt enable flip flop is reset, and all the interrupt except the trap are disabled. No flags are affected. EI, enable interrupt. Suppose that I want to give some delay, then we can provide the enable interrupt. So the interrupt enable flip flop is set and all interrupt are enabled. No flags are affected. This instruction is necessary to re-enable the instruction except trap. RIM, read interrupt mask. This is a multi-purpose instruction used to read the status of interrupt RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5 and read serial data input bit. The instruction load 8 bit in the accumulator with the following interrupt. That is the 3. So this is the D naught is the RST 5.5, D1 is 6.5 and D2 is 7.5. So these are interrupt masked if bit is equal to. And then I interrupt enable, it is 1. Then I7, I6 and I5 is the, this is the RIM instruction. SIM, set interrupt mask. This is a multi-purpose instruction and used to implement the 8085 interrupt 7.5, 6.5, 5.5 and serial data input as the previous bit frame we are seeing. The instruction interrupt the accumulator content as follow. SIM. Same. Now the example we will discuss in next lecture of this example. Now the reference book. Actually, today we will discuss about the set of instruction. Without the instruction, we cannot write the any program. So, first thing is clear how the data will be fetched, how the data will be decoded, and which instruction we are using to execute our program. So that is the main important thing. So all things will be available in microprocessor architecture programming and application with the 8085 by Ramesh Konkar. This book having the whole detail of microprocessor 8085 as well as some other microprocessors and all the detail about the instruction sets. So this is a good book. Microprocessor 80585 and its interfacing by Mathos. This is also another reference book. 8085 microprocessor and its application by A. Nakorny. This is also a different reference book. So we can go for these books and we can see our lectures. So it is very helpful to us. Now come to the quiz. 8085 microprocessor is an 8-bit microprocessor. Everybody knows 8085 microprocessor is an 8-bit microprocessor. Why we are say it is an 8-bit microprocessor? Because its data bus is an 8-bit. So what is the question asked? 8085 microprocessor is an 8-bit microprocessor designed by which company is designed by 8085? Intel. Many more companies also designed by different type of processor, but not 8085. That is the Motorola, Texas also developed. So 8085 is pronounced as 8085 microprocessor. It is an 8-bit microprocessor designed by Intel in 1977. In 1971, first microprocessor was designed, that is the 4004. Next question. In 8085, 16-bit address bus, which can address up to. So 2 raised to 16. So it's the 64 KB. So in correct answer is the C, that is the 64 KB. 16-bit address bus, which can address up to 64 KB. There are how much general type purpose register in 8085? 6. B, C, D, E, H, L. These are 6 general purpose register, which every register can hold 8-bit data. So B is the correct answer. It is also store 16-bit register work like stack, which is always increment decrement by 2 during push and pop operation, which is used in 8085 stack pointer. Flag register is an 8-bit register having 1 bit of flip-flop 5. 5 flip-flops, sign, 0, carry, priority, and carry flag, auxiliary carry. These 5 flags are there. What is the true about the program counter? Program counter is a 16-bit register that will hold the current memory address location for next instruction to be executed. So D is the correct answer. In that question, D is the correct answer. Program counter, this signal indicate that another master is requesting the use of address and data bus. It will request to use of address and data bus. Which pin is used? Hold. The signal is used as a system clock for the device connected with the microprocessor. That is the clock out. Clock out is the signal used as the system clock for device connected with the processor. Which of the following is true about control and status signal? The signal is used to identify the nature of operation. There are 3 control signal and 3 status signal. There are 3 status signal like input output oblique memory, S0 and S1. So all are correct. So all of the above. MBI K20F is an example of immediate addressing mode because within the instruction data is given. So it's the immediate addressing mode. Thank you all for listening this lecture. Thank you all.